Okay, you guys, this is a drawing of a friend of mine from years ago, 40 years ago, and this is done with hatching, where I'm trying to figure out the volumes of as she sits here. Plus, she had this incredible hank of hair. Some of it smudged into and worked around, but you could just as easily do this with wash, like a drawing like this, with a little bit of hatching in here to try to figure out what's going on. This is from the same time period. And, I was working in little increments of mark. I'm not working so much that way anymore. I'm a lot broader. But that's kind of the way to go. That's one of the ways to go. So, you're finding out form. So I use the white of the page here. This gets dark on this cow. I was living on a small farm. We had a cow. And, this kind of finds the volumes and increments. So you can imagine that in pen and ink, right? Okay. So, plus all the apples on the tree. Now, these are just some thumbnail sketches that I made real fast from various things. This is from a movie still, and then I put a wash into it. This has got just a little bit of wash, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a little bit here. It's just ink with a little bit of water, and, I'm only looking for 1 or 2 tones in this. It's got 1, 2, maybe 3 tones, 4 tones with this black here. This is just more pure ink. It's just watered down less, but it's also got a ink layout, and it's just from a movie that I saw. And it was about I don't know, it's a movie from the 40s. You can find that stuff on Channel 5 too, on the affiliates at night. There's all these classic old movies. They're all black and white. I just took photos off of the TV set. So this was the crash that this guy was looking at, which was a fruit truck that went over. It's really kind of abstract, but I like the shapes, and I put in a wash here. I was going to just leave things the way they were, but last night I got into it and I started to work, so I took it a little bit far. I'll make a drawing and put a wash into it to show you exactly what I mean. This is from a photo that I've drawn a lot of times, and it's just a hairdo from the 60s, and kind of a graduation picture. But it's got a lot of things that if you were to take this and blow it up, and I went back to the source, which is a photo that I have here, I could go into it a lot more detail. These don't have that much room to put in that much detail. You got to be really kind of just to the point, and then quit and go to the next thing. This little figure here I made up, but it's just from this little sculpture that's over here that might be hard to see, but I just thought, oh, I'm going to work that up as a drawing and as an idea. I was going to put this guy in here too, but I didn't. But somehow it relates to this. It's like she sees this. And, somehow these things work together as a narrative. It's like a storyboard, like you might see in a movie, how they're going to do one shot from next to the next to the next to the next. So I don't know what you're going to be choosing. You can work from photos that you have, maybe parents, grandparents. That could be interesting to do a thumbnail first and then blow it up. This is all exploratory. It's all exploratory. It's just a sketch. It shouldn't be judged in the same way as like a finished drawing. You're trying to figure things out. There were some wrong lines in here where I thought this was going to be this big. I needed to expand it. I covered it over with a little bit of gesso. It just doesn't matter. And I think something else in here. Yeah, over here, this needed just a little more space. This needed more space. I didn't put quite enough in when I made the rectangle. So I just added to it, but it makes a nice tension in the thing. Okay, so that's